Yo, what's up guys? This is ZeGamerBoy, and I wanted to do something a little bit different here. So in this episode, we're going to be going through all of the respective houses at Hogwarts and ranking them. So I created different saves for each one. Of course, my prioritized one is this one here. This is my Gryffindor. And we're just going to go explore the common rooms and rank them. So to begin with, these bedroom areas, the dormitories, are pretty cool. Nice little like rustic bunk bed aesthetic, very neat. Actually, no, this is like a more unkempt kind of feel to it, but it's very homey, which is something that's cool. And the music just said "I'm coming in," but it makes you feel like a typical kind of dorm room from in comparison to a lot of other things. And then as soon as you walk out, you get to a spiral staircase. This is where all of the dorms seem to be. So you go all the way up, and then you got a nice little mural here depicting what I mean, it's Hogwarts for sure, but I don't know what all the animals on there are. And then walking through more dormitories. I don't know if like the higher you go up, the more upperclassmen that you are. I don't really know what that is, but again, it's a cool little feel to it. It's very much like dorm room kind of college kind of feel, which is kind of sweet. So then you make it to the main level, where you got this knight that always reacts to you kind of coming close, and you got the beautiful chandelier kind of right there. I do want to explore over there. I haven't really done a whole lot of exploring. This is something that I just uncovered.
Levioso.
Oh, that's not what I meant to do. This
Lumos.
is what I want to do. So this is like achievements that have happened with in the Gryffindor house. So it's got some like trophies and different placards of people, or maybe it's not even like necessarily true. It's like a few different things. Oh, for Quidditch, which we're not going to play this year. But now you can see into the actual common room itself, and it's familiar. I say this in like my second episode of Hogwarts Legacy, where I'm kind of going through the story. It's a very familiar feel because we have been exposed to the Gryffindor common room on many occasions because of Harry, Ron, and Hermione's journey in
Levioso.
Whoops.
Lumos.
Because of that. Okay, I lied. So these are the awards that we have had as Gryffindors. And then you segue down into here with lined with all sorts of portraits. You got a Floo powder dude right there, which is really dope.
What are you up to now?
This is nothing. I don't know what that is, but I don't know whether it's achievements or like maybe the prefects over the years.
Here's I won't be going up there.
Oh, that's the women's dormitory. Okay, can't go that way. Very large, very sprawling, brightly lit up because of the windows being everywhere. Located in the south wing. Got Nearly Headless Nick, of course, throwback to just the movies and everything, and him like playing a pretty big role in the books of Harry Potter. But yeah, this one, like, it's cool. And again, it's really a great nostalgia factor, because of how often you're here, and being able to actually live in the common room is super badass. But I haven't yet looked at the other ones, so we're gonna segue from the familiar to the unfamiliar, and we're gonna go and check out the next one. We'll say, let's make it Hufflepuff. We'll make Hufflepuff the next common room that we'll explore. Okay, and now we're in the Hufflepuff main dormitory room, the common room. Now this is just like a very different feel. This is very neat, clean in my opinion. It reminds me of like Hobbiton in the Lord of the Rings series. It's just got a Hobbit kind of feel, like underground, very homey. I think I definitely said that for the last one, but it doesn't feel like more like dorm. It feels more like a house rather than like a dormitory, college dormitory feel of the Gryffindor dorm. Just go through the door. Oh, that's neat. Very green. It's got a nice little greenhouse feel. Oh, this is sweet. Okay, so these are all gonna be pretty much identical living spaces. It also looks like there's more beds in these common rooms, which is, it makes more sense considering, like, I don't know, there's a lot of students here, and this actually makes it seem like there's a lot of students here that, like, as you're going in and out of rooms. I'm wondering if the upper level is, if that lower level are male and upper level is female. Maybe. We can find out in a moment. Here's the main common room area. This is actually really, really sick. And I'm not going to interact with these characters. My focus right now is just a tour of the common area. It's just so lush and green. It makes me feel like I'm going to visit my, like, I don't know, like a grandma or something like that in the middle of the woods. This is so sweet. Can I go up to the upper level? We're gonna find out. Let's see if we can.
That's good.
And there's actually like magic pots and stuff going around. That's okay. So the girls' dormitory is on the upper level, so I can't go that way. I'm curious if there are a few things that I might have missed, kind of like similar to the Gryffindor dorm. But honestly, it looks like it's just upper and lower level dormitories. So it doesn't seem like it has as many like secret alcoves that you can kind of go into, because all of these are just beds. So definitely a really cool homey feel, the Hufflepuff dorm. I kind of like it. It's pretty neat, nice and green, lush, lavish. But yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, I gotta look at all of them to be able to really stack them up completely, but it's cool. I think this is a really, really neat one here.
Such a beautiful.
Will it let me go out? Oh, that's cool too! But I can't go out because I need to interact with these people, and I'm not going to interact with these people quite yet. But yeah, this is the Hogwarts common room, and we've got 2 more to go: Slytherin and
Thank you for not
Ravenclaw.
biting me.
Okie dokie day, and we
Looks like
are
everyone's
in
gone.
in
Let's head to
the
the common room.
Ravenclaw common room. So I realized when I had recorded this before, I messed up the recording. The other houses that I did, they were fine, but this one, it didn't have like sound for some reason. So I had to go back and edit it, or like I'm gonna edit this in with the sound. And I also noticed as I was going through there that I missed a level. Because I thought it was the same level that I had started on. So yeah, this is the Ravenclaw common room. One of the things that really struck me when I first like came into the room is it was very neat, pristine, intellectually driven in design. And I also like just the nice sharp colors that they got. They got the bright whites and like the very tame blues and golds kind of like complementing each other. This is also the only common room that I encountered that had lofted beds, which is cool because I guess it just leaves the whole area more spacious and kempt for like their studies and whatnot. And I also mentioned that the mirror doesn't show my reflection very well. I don't understand why that works that way, but maybe it's something that'll be explained later. But yeah, then you walk out and you don't want to go down because going down I think takes you out of the common room area. But you do want to go up here, which takes you to the main common room area, which is absolutely stunning. These are
This should be
those go down to the women's dormitory. It's the only dormitories that I've found that don't zip you down
I
when
suppose
you
some
start walking up.
introductions are in order.
No, they're not. I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, this dorm really, really, really just fun in design. What the heck was that? Oh, he's playing with a beetle. But like one of the things that spoke to me at the very beginning of this is I love the like astrological ceilings, and how everything's like kind of around astronomy, and you like have the constellations and stuff like that. And again, that probably goes along with the idea of just being intellectually driven, and all the looking glasses that they have everywhere. Good old Ravenclaw insignia speckled on the wall. A gorgeous fireplace, which is probably my favorite fireplace of the fireplaces that I've seen in the other common rooms. it's just a really,
Just have to wait for the right
I don't know, it's,
moment.
again, just nice design. I like this on the bottom here. Very cool. And you got Rowena Ravenclaw just chilling over here in the corner, looking all fancy schmancy with their book and wand. But this is where I like stopped with my first initial like tour, I guess. But there's that whole upper level, which I didn't even look at before. So let's go to that upper level and see what it looks like, because I think I'd initially thought that it wouldn't be an area that I could explore. I thought that's where like the Ravenclaw women's common rooms would be, because that's kind of how it was in a lot of other places where it's like you go off to one side or the other, and that's where the men's or women's, or one level or the other, and that's men's or women's. This is apparently where the prefects are. Cool. Okay. Yeah, this one just keeps going. I didn't even realize that. This reminds me of like a 5-star restaurant. Like, I feel like I shouldn't be here because I'm not getting a classy steak. I'm just walking around a common room.
Half of the letters end up in the local pond.
And that chandelier is really, really cool too. Just a bunch of ravens kind of holding it up. Not a whole lot else going on in this level though, so let's go up this staircase and see what the very top is going to show us. I guess this is the only common room with multiple levels. Oh, you tease. Because the other common rooms that I went through, I mean, Gryffindor has like the spiraling staircase going up from one dormitory to the next, where you have like, I guess, the younger students at the very bottom, and then you work your way up. But this one is like they're on the same level, just separate sides. But I am curious what that'll end up being, and that's also a really pretty stained glass ceiling. But yeah, that would be a tour of the Ravenclaw house. At this point, I already know what I've selected as my number 1, but you guys don't know that yet. So let's move forward and see the next common room. Okie dokie, and this is our last common room, dormitory, house. And this is the Slytherin dormitory. So already very dark and gloomy, kind of like goes along with Slytherin, because I mean snakes dwell in the sewers, right? But I kind of like this like angstier vibe, honestly. I like the tattered paint on the walls. I like the draperies around the beds, and this one is honestly like well kept, kind of similar to Ravenclaw's, but I think that kind of goes along with the wealth that kind of goes along with Slytherin's and their ambition and their drive for success. But already I like the, like, I don't know, the dark feel is pretty dope. I'm a master of angst, so that just works perfectly for me. Oh, this is cool too. Just kind of, we're literally in a sewer. 6th years. Okay, so these are dormitories that are dependent on your year. I don't know if the other ones actually had like placards on the outside, but this is really, really cool. It kind of reminds me heavily of like the Chamber of Secrets. Oh, but that's really pretty too. Oh, I love the stained glass ceiling that's going on there. That's really neat. This is just so much. This is a lot more grandiose. This literally feels as if I'm walking around like the Great Hall. Oh, this is so cool. I feel like I'm underwater. It reminds me of Rapture in Bioshock. Honestly, this already feels like it's probably my favorite. Is this to the women's dorms? No. This is just so sprawling in comparison to other stuff. Oh, and I get some pastries. Good stuff. This one is awesome. I'm gonna go back into this common room area, and just like the architecture is super, super neat too. I think that's the women's dorms. I don't think it'll allow me to go over there.
I suppose some introductions are in order.
Nah, I don't want to introduce myself to anybody.
Must be different. Starting off.
Oh, what's over here? Oh, that's women's dorm. Okay. That's what I figured.
Did you see the way they just waltzed in at the end of the sorting ceremony last night?
Oh, the music in the background too is just so nice. I feel like I'm at an upstanding restaurant or something. This is, or a museum. It's just giving me such like, it's just really fun vibes, honestly. Oh, we are underwater as well, dude. Are you joking? How can you pass on Slytherin, dude? Look at this. Is just super dope. Wow. I am blown away by this one. How could somebody even, like, how can somebody compare this to the other houses? How can any of the other houses compare to this house? This one's dope, dude.
If you do that, you'll lose. Trust me.
Cool. Sounds good. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how much more I really need to say here. Oh, there's something over here too. It's a little pond. Can I go in this? That looks like a grate that I could definitely go through.
Revelio.
I can't go through there though. This is just, this is head and shoulders above the other ones in my opinion. This is just such a cool common area. And it's got an awesome vibe, man. Well, I'm gonna pause that there. So, we just explored 4 different common rooms. All of them, we had Slytherin, Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, and Ravenclaw. And in my opinion, how do they stack up to one another? So we'll start from the bottom. My least favorite common room, I'd say, is probably Hufflepuff, which Hufflepuff is still a very cool common room. It's very homey, green, really embodies that like nurturing feeling that you have when you go into Hufflepuff. But there just wasn't a whole lot going on with it. It was cool having the magic kind of happening in and around everything. With like the pots watering everywhere and all that stuff, but I don't know, it just didn't speak to me like some of the other dorms. The one thing that I did enjoy is that it feels like Hobbiton from Lord of the Rings. Like, that was pretty neat, but otherwise it just didn't stack up to the other dorms. Our third place spot is going to be Gryffindor, and that's just because probably like what puts it above Hufflepuff in my opinion is probably completely contingent on that nostalgia factor. And I also really like the fact that it felt like a college dorm, like the dormitory kind of feel. It was a very not homey, but it was just like the feeling of brotherhood and inclusion amongst everybody was really, really cool. I don't know, it just felt like everybody was like together, and I liked the aesthetic of it. And again, kind of catering back to Harry Potter, just being in that dorm room after watching it in the movies, it was just a breath of fresh air. And it's cool being able to explore it ourselves. But I still don't think it elevates it above the 2 that are going to be next, Ravenclaw and Slytherin. I think they had just more going for it when it comes to like the design, how they differentiate themselves, and just like how it really fits into what that house stands for, I guess. But still, really cool common room. Really like Gryffindor's, but it's got to sit at number 3. Going into common room number 2 is going to be Ravenclaw. So Ravenclaw was much cooler than I had expected. And the thing that really kind of sold it for me is just like the ceiling and seeing like the astrological signs and just, I don't know, like how clean it was, the bright blues and whites, and how just like everything in the dorms kind of, it just had like an intellectual kind of vibe to it, which was really cool. And that's not necessarily what I wanted to go for, but it definitely stood out, and it really well reflects what you're supposed to be in Ravenclaw. You're supposed to be an intelligent mind, and with everything being so organized and pristine and perfect. It was just literally like the embodiment of what you want to have when it comes to a Ravenclaw dorm. But I still don't think there was enough going on in it to make it like the top spot. Like, I really did enjoy like the astronomy and the stars that were like above on the ceiling, but it's still not as good as our number one spot, which it's easy to say. I kind of implied it when I was going through it already. Number one spot's definitely Slytherin dorm, common room. It's just a really cool, dank, dark, mysterious kind of vibe, which is perfect for Slytherin and how shady they can presumably be. Really enjoyed the fact that it's in the sewers and you're underwater. You're under the lakes of Hogwarts. And it's cool that common room opens up into a very sprawling, open area. Not as inviting as like the Gryffindor common room or like Hufflepuff's common room. But I was just like in awe of the atmosphere that was there. And again, it was so cool getting in there and just looking out the windows and seeing blue because you're under a lake. And it just, in my opinion, it is the most fleshed out and by far the coolest common room in Hogwarts Legacy. So this is my feedback. I want to know what you guys are thinking. Leave a comment down below. Which house is your favorite house? Whether it be Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, Gryffindor, or Slytherin. I don't know. You guys maybe have different feelings from one to the next. I've seen a couple videos where they do their walk around of it, and they're like, okay, Gryffindor is the best. It just has, again, that like nostalgia feel, homey, whatever. Ravenclaw, like it just depends on people's preferences. But Slytherin was far above my favorite. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Upon subscribing to the channel, hit that notification bell to stay notified on all my latest content. And another thing I want you to comment, do you want to see more stuff like this on the channel? I'm definitely more than down to do it. It doesn't necessarily have to be Hogwarts Legacy related. It could also be related to a lot of other games that are going to be coming out along the line. But this has been a pretty fun episode, and it was cool just like walking around the dorms and getting a feel of some of the things that you did not see in the Harry Potter movies that were just completely left out because you're so centered in on the Gryffindor experience. But yeah, guys, this was a tour through the common rooms in Hogwarts Legacy. I am ZeGamerBoy, and I will see you guys in the next video. So, peace out, guys.